let's get into some drag race news. And since we was talking about Melinda Verga, let's talk about her in this topic because Miss Mamas ended up getting the first chop of Drag Race UK versus the world, which shocked the world that y'all had the unlitigated goal to pretty much chop the Sasha Colby of Canada. That's what I call it. Look, I stand 10 toes down on that. She is the Sasha Colby in Canada, and y'all went and got rid of her. So I'm mad. So she recently did an interview with Pink News and talked about it. So look, everybody was mad that she got voted out. I kind of had a feeling she was going to get voted out because them vocals during that performance, the Rural Vision Song Contest, were a choice. I was like, I had me a Coco Montrese moment. I was like, find the note. It's in there somewhere, sis, but find the note. And she revealed in the interview that the reason why she was going through a lot in that season, she said she was going through a lot mentally. She was also sick when she was doing the show. And there was a lot of stuff that was happening off camera that a lot of people didn't really get to see. So she ended up getting chopped against she was lip syncing against one of the girls who was from Germany. But to be honest, when I watched that lip sync, The Only Naomi, that's what she performed. And they performed I Begin to Wonder by Danny Minogue. First of all, I love that song. Y'all already know Neon Nights is my actual favorite record. First of all, that's like the only record I like from Danny Minogue, because that was when she was going into slut Minogue era, where it's like that electro pop and a lot of the songs, Put the Needle on It is one of my favorite songs. She also has a song called Push, which samples was it a Monifa song? Because Monifa samples that same beat, which is like, do you really want to touch it? Do you really want to mess with me tonight? It's like, it's that song, but I don't know if that's a sample or that's her original, so I can't remember off the top of my head. But so it was a lot of really good songs. That was like electro pop gold. Like that was, she goes a little mess. She a little sluttier than Kylie. Kylie is like sensual. She has a slut Kylie era, but she never really went there like Danny did. Like Danny was a little more aggressive with her sexual peak. But so I love that record. I love I Begin to Wonder, which also contains a sample. There was a lot of samples on that album. So they performed that lip sync, and her and The Only Naomi, child, if it was up to me, I would send them both home. Both their performances was a mess. But the problem I think was sent Melinda home is because she didn't remember the words. And I was watching her mouth. I'm like, not you up in here doing watermelon. Because that's what she was given. I was like, when I'm watching her, am I watching Can You Please Her? So I couldn't tell because it's like you two girls that don't seem to know the words when they get up there and perform. So she was up there, was a mess, and then flopping around the stage doing her dips and flips and flops and looked like a dead fish flopping around that stage. Her, and then you had The Only Naomi trying to do cartwheels well, she didn't stick the landing. It was just a mess. And the one thing I have to say, what's getting on my nerves about these lip syncs is that too much, I feel on this show, y'all rely too much on the like, oh, I got to do tricks and things. It's like, get up there and fucking perform the song. Everything don't have to be a dip. You don't have to flop around the stage. You don't have to do cartwheel. You don't have to do all of that. It's like, we've seen that done so many times, it gets tedious. So just get up there and just give a show, perform like you would at any other event if you were performing as a drag queen. So, Melinda did speak about, as we found out, her name actually means my pretty penis. She said that's what it stands for, Melinda Verga. So they talked about their mental health spiraling last year and a fury of the judges' remarks and online comparisons to the trajectory of his Canada Drag Race sister Lemon, who went on to win Canada Drag Race Canada versus the World Season 2. So they asked about how he feels about the first two episodes. And they said that they waited so long for the season to air, and while the period of waiting is happening, it's torture. So today is a full circle moment. I'm ready to close the chapter and move on to the next chapter fully and completely. They said in 2025, I wasn't well mentally. I'm going to be frank about that. It was a real struggle. That's not something that many people know because it's just something that I chose to deal with privately amongst my nearest and dearest. And whenever I showed up for a show or a gig, I always showed up full Melinda. full throttle without people knowing that I was actually suffering. So for today to happen and to be finally here, the healing is complete. And then they were just talking about that they didn't want to come out and say that they were going through stuff mentally because, or that they were sick, because then what would have happened was y'all would have jumped on social media and been like, oh, you making up excuses. Oh, nothing's really wrong with you. So it's just like, you can't even win. If you're vulnerable, people feel like you're making an excuse. And then, and it's sad that people can't just show up as authentically themselves. And you can always tell when somebody BSing and coming up with an excuse. But if you got some stuff going on of you saying like, mentally I'm not here or something I'm going on, I thought I was going to be ready to appear on the show, but I wasn't ready. People got to be willing to listen to people when they do these things. But I've been watching many a times when I've watched Drag Race and I'm like, girl, please, you sit up here trying to make an excuse to save your own ass. Kind of like Briar. I'm still like side-eyeing whether or not that was real with that whole past, that feigning spell that she did. So they also said that some people did say online, oh, look at Melinda Verga. She's making excuses again, but people don't know these things, right? I got there sick. I was even worried that I'd be sent home because I was sick. Then with the design challenge, there were so many other things that I had to deal with off camera. I was spiralina. Let's just put it that way. Up to the lip sync moment, all the words gone. It was just piling up, and then that set the tone for 2025 for me, and that continued on for the rest of the year. Healing didn't really start until later in the year, and hopefully I got that fixed just in time for this season to air. So then they started asking her about the comparisons between her track record and Lemon, and saying that, yeah, after leaving UK versus the World first, she went on to win Canada versus the World. Are you keen to come back for another season? And she said, yeah, 10,000%. Honestly, one of my first phone calls was to Lemon. I'm now, of course, seeing lots of parallels between Lemon and myself. Some trajectory so far, 5th place in Canada's Drag Race, and now first out on UK versus the World. But I also got to do the Traders Canada, and I did well. While Drag Race definitely opened doors for me, it's not the only platform available to me, and I'm grateful for that. So I'll definitely be exploring other avenues in the next little while here. So don't be surprised if I appear on your TV screens sooner than later. And then they were asking, how did she feel going into UK versus the World? She said she went in super confident. I made a lot of the looks herself. She said on Canada Drag Race, she made a lot of the looks herself. I had a stash of fabrics in my house. So when people were like, taste level, no bitch, I was working a full-time job. I made a lot of my looks that I brought on the show and I spent $0. So Canada for me was a huge win in so many ways. Going into UK versus the World, however, knowing my edits or my storyline on Canada's Drag Race, she brought the looks. But then she said she spent a lot of money on her runway package, which is the thing that always makes me cringe a bit, because it's like these girls break the bank and they try to step their pussies up in regards to the fashions. And then you got to worry about possibly going home first or whatever the case is. And it's like, well, damn, I spent tens of thousands of dollars on my runway package and now I can't show it off. So you end up in a situation where you're broke and you got to find a way to recoup that money, because the looks that you had that you were looking forward to win on the runway, you're not going to be able to show them off. So they basically said, if you're going to be on a TV show, it's a lot of money. But with that said, I was more confident about my runway package, and knowing I already have the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent aspect of it, I was like, let's go. So now, they asked her if she expected to win the episode based on her having a fashion school background. You want to know something? I've always noticed this whenever they talk about, oh, I went to fashion school, I went to here, and I went there. I'm like, y'all are kind of setting yourselves up to be up for elimination, because a lot of times we get people that say, oh yeah, I went to school and I graduated in fashion school, and then when it comes to the full look or whatever, it's like, I don't know what you were thinking. Because I like this Vivienne Westwood look, even though they were throwing shade at her a little bit, saying like it was wearing her more than she was wearing the outfit. The black outfit that Melinda wore, that she designed herself, I didn't like the little thing that she had coming down the front. I mean, it was tailored great, but it made her look like a fish, like the scales of a fish or whatever. I just didn't like that thing in the front. If she would have just kept it like simple and just have maybe the little scale, like the little piece of fabric that she had in the front, if you had it more or less in the back or whatever, and probably made it like sort of a train-esque type thing, I think it would have been cute. And just let the front black, and then the parts of the sleeves where she had like that same fabric, that I think would have been cute. And I like the plunging V line for the breast area, but I was like, yeah, the outfit was just not doing it for me. It was just too much. So um then they asked about the judges' critiques and if she was in agreement with the judges on her looks. She said, no, I wasn't. I'm not going to be sugarcoating that today, right here, right now. I wasn't. Of course I wasn't. Oh my God, I'm still salty about that. I talked about healing earlier, and now I'm like, I wasn't. Maybe that's one of the reasons that I still haven't watched the episode, because I don't know what made the cut. I do remember being told things that I was like, okay, that's just not needed. That's not necessary. Maybe you're going for a reaction here, but I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of that reaction. No, I didn't agree with the judging. I didn't agree with the results. I didn't agree with a lot of the things that were said to me on stage that day. Yes, a part of me was wanting to bring out Canada's Drag Race episode for Melinda back on stage, and probably that would have made an iconic TV moment. But no, I wasn't going to be that girl who wasn't able to get her ish together. And it's RuPaul. RuPaul is due the respect, no matter my feelings, no matter anyone's feelings and opinions. RuPaul created the platform for all of us, and she deserves the utmost respect. I wasn't about to disrespect her in her own house. Was I happy? No. But but was I about to disrespect my mother? No. Now, they also asked her who would she play on Snatch Game, because that is the next episode, and then she basically did not reveal, because she was like, you know what, that the people that I was researching that I wanted to do for Snatch Game, if I had made it, I still want to play those characters. So I'm not going to squabble that opportunity. I was just trying to find a way to bring that into the show. But here, hold on, because I want to bring up, in case y'all forgot, what her design look was. If this thing, yeah, this was the look. And like I said before, she didn't mind the dress. I don't mind this, like this part. Yeah, this gotta go. If this was more or less back here and she created like a little train or whatever, I think it would have been cuter. This, I don't mind. It does kind of give old lady a little bit, so I don't really mind this too much. But this part kind of just in the mid, going down the middle of the dress, I didn't like that. I do like the hair though. So I mean, Melinda, the way she dressed, she does give matronly an old lady anyway. So I mean, and I know a lot of people don't particularly care for her overall fashion looks, but I didn't mind the dress that much. I mean, was it the greatest? No, but based off of somebody who went to fashion school and created an original look, I don't think it was bad. I just this, like I said, this middle part, I'm like, if you would have taken this and brought it back here, it probably would have been a lot better. And I don't know, I don't mind this. There could have been a little shawl, maybe a little cape situation that she could have made with this piece of fabric. So yeah, so shout out to you, Melinda. Oh yeah, and I gotta bring this up because speaking of Canada, there's rumors that swirling that we have some Canada Drag Race girls for All Stars, the upcoming season. Because I was like, let me bring this up before I forget. So yeah, Canada's Drag Race All Stars. We got Scarlett from season one, Scarlett Bobo. Then we got Juice from season one, Gia from season two, Kimmy from season three, Jada Shada from season three, Vivian from season three, Moko from season three, Aurora Matrix from season four, Michaela from season five, Perla from season five, Ebony from season six, and Sammy from season six. So we got 12 queens. These are the girls that they talking about allegedly is going to be a part of the upcoming season of Canada's Drag Race All-Stars season. This sounds like it'd be interesting, but those are the rumors so far. So, yeah, I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? I just want to bring that up because it's part of the whole Canada thing regarding Melinda Verga, as well as the rumored cast of Canada's Drag Race All-Stars season, whenever that is supposed to air. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. Let me know what your thoughts are on this story in the comments down below.